Hi, I'm Barbie. I live in a Barbie dream house, but I swear I am trying to live in harmony with my Ken.
Those of my ladies that live with their boyfriend, husband, or significant other, I have a question for you. Me and my boyfriend both work from home, so we're together literally 24/7 all of the time.
So I recently started a series about living with my partner, where I basically unload all of the lessons that I've learned in the last 6 months since living with my partner for the very first time.
I've been living with my current boyfriend for the past 3 years, and let me just tell you, back in 2020 when we decided to move together, I completely had to learn a whole new version of him. I can honestly say our first year of us living together was the hardest because those little mini arguments about the dishes, taking out the garbage, you drunk all my juice.
As society has changed, so too have attitudes changed around living together before marriage. The traditional view?
Would I advise against cohabitation before marriage? Well, the simple answer to that question is there's plenty of evidence that it's a bad idea. And I just mean factual evidence to begin with, although I think there are other reasons. People who live together and then get married are more likely to get divorced, not less likely.
If you grew up in the church, particularly in the South, you're familiar with the term shacking up. This is the idea of cohabitating with your boyfriend or girlfriend before you're officially married. And as can be imagined, the elders across the board were against this in the church and for assumed biblical reasons. But when you parse that out, especially in a society where there are more norms that trend toward living with someone before you get married, there seem to be further implications that may not have been considered.
How old are you?
36.
How long into a relationship should a man propose?
I was already proposed to in my previous relationship, so that was like about 1.5 years, 2 years.
This young lady has a very interesting story, and you're going to see two things. One, the implications of changing societal norms on young ladies in terms of living with a boyfriend before they get married, and second, the effect on her on a personal level in terms of not just her and her further dating prospects, but in a societal scale, what happens to the dating prospects down the line for men and women in a society where it is okay for young ladies to live with a boyfriend early on in their dating life? In a recent Pew Research study, the trends toward growing acceptance of living together while not being married are quite evident, as those over 65 show a strong belief in the institution of marriage. 64% believe it's better if couples who want to stay together long-term eventually get married. As the age groups get younger, so too does the belief in marriage as an institution important for long-term couples diminish. From 55 to 48 for middle age to 45 for those under 29 years old, the majority shifts where more young people see that they are just as well off as a long-term couple deciding not to marry.
Hi, Dan. I just moved in next door. I'm a supermodel.
I don't care who the IRS sends. I am not paying taxes.
7 to 10 adults say that cohabitation is acceptable even if there are no plans at all to eventually get married. For those under 30, this rises to almost 80% of people who see no need for marriage plans when making a decision to move in or shack up with a potential mate. And you can see that for those under 50, ranging from 12 down to 8% of adults deem it never acceptable to live together without being married first.
You and me? It's a forever kind of thing.
This back and forth on TikTok is a good representation of modern ideas about living together before marriage. I'm 23 and my parents won't let me do this, moving in with her boyfriend. You need to grow up at the old age of 24. Wish it were that simple. My whole family will cut me off if I move out unless I'm quote-unquote married. That's not the kind of family you need in your life then. You're 23. It's not their decision anymore. LMAO. That's what I thought too. From brides.com, what living together before marriage really means for your relationship. According to the National Center for Family, Marriage, and Research, between 1965 and 1974, only 11% of women lived with their partner before their first marriage. Between 2010 and 2013, that number rose to 69% of women. Ishizuka, the researcher, gathered data from thousands of households between 1996 and 2013. Of the couples that were living together, non-married, 1,121 of those couples dissolved their relationship before getting married, while 1,104 of them went on to get married. In fact, the odds of moving on to marriage declined by 28% between 1996 and 2008, which begs two questions. One, how many young girls early in their dating lives are getting involved in very serious cohabiting situations? And two, what kind of effect is this having on the overall dating market?
How old are you?
36.
How long into a relationship should a man propose?
I was already proposed to in my previous relationship, so that was like about a year and a half, 2 years. And we were together for a total of 7 years. And then it just ended.
But y'all didn't fully tie the knot?
We didn't, because we moved in together and then like kind of life took over, and then at that point I think we were just like, oh, it's mostly like just like paperwork. But to me it meant something, and I think for him it was more of when my finances are up, so like, let me get the money to give you the perfect wedding you're looking for, you always wanted.
As men, we can see through this part of it. Now, we're not saying that the guy is a good or a bad guy, but he was telling her something during that time period. And maybe he didn't have the intention of marrying her, or maybe he truly wanted to get his finances straight. But what is the truth is that for 7 years, he strung her along, intentionally or not. And in that 7 years, she was giving her best of her physical attraction and being a housewife and being attracted to her boyfriend, to that man. And all she has to show for it is nothing. And this, what happens next, is the inevitable effect on the dating market.
So then obviously like time passed and, you know, life happened. And
So y'all just stayed engaged the whole time?
yeah.
Would you get with a guy now knowing he would never want to get married?
No.
Why not?
Because marriage means something to me. It means more than just I'm gonna get married to you and 80% commit to you, but not fully commit to you.
As men, we can see the clear fallacy in this plan. When she was young, she was with the guy that she wanted to be with, the guy that she wanted to commit to her. They lived together for a long period of time while she was in her physical prime, and she was doing whatever she had to do to maintain that relationship, and she was waiting for the ring. And so when she doesn't get the ring, she goes back to the dating market and asks something for the next guy that she didn't ask of the guy that she really wanted. Now, if you multiply this on a wide scale, many young ladies in their early 20s living with the boyfriend that they want to marry, that they want to commit to them, and that guy not just not marrying them, but saying what he needs to maintain the physical relationship because it's giving him what he wants, on a wide scale is doing incredible damage to not just the dating market, but the marriage market. A whole bevy of young ladies, heartbroken, having the experience of living the high of the everyday life with their ideal mate, but that mate never commits. And then when that relationship ends, they go back to the dating market looking for more demands from a guy that is not the guy they want to be with in the first place. And I believe this is one of the great contributors to a dating market that's squeezing a lot of passport bros out of it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.